Welcome back to Wealth Talk. Today, we re-talking about a hard truth that surprises a lot of people. Earning more money does not automatically make you richer. In fact, for millions of people, higher income actually leads to more stress, more pressure, and less financial freedom. This is called lifestyle inflation, and once you understand the math behind it, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever gotten a raise, felt excited for a few months, and then somehow ended up feeling just as broke as before? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. According to recent data from the U.S. Federal Reserve, over 60% of Americans say they would struggle to cover a $400 emergency expense, even though average wages have risen significantly over the past decade. That tells us something important. Income is going up, but wealth is not. To understand why, let me tell you a story about a man named Thomas. Thomas is in his mid-30s. He lives in a suburban town outside Dallas, Texas. He's married, has one child, and works in corporate operations for a mid-sized company. For years, Thomas earned around $62,000 a year. Money was tight, but manageable. He budgeted carefully, drove a used sedan, and rented a modest apartment. Then something great happened. Thomas got promoted. His salary jumped from $62,000 to $92,000 a year almost overnight. That's a $30,000 increase. On paper, Thomas was winning. Friends congratulated him. His family was proud. He felt like he had finally made it. But here's where things started to go wrong. Within the first 6 months of his raise, Thomas upgraded almost everything in his life. He moved into a larger apartment closer to work. The rent was higher, but it felt justified. He bought a newer SUV because he could afford it now. Monthly payments replaced the old paid-off car. He started eating out more, upgraded his phone, subscribed to more streaming services, and took a more expensive vacation than ever before. None of these choices felt reckless. Each one seemed reasonable on its own. But together, they changed everything. Before the raise, Thomas saved about $300 a month. Not much, but it was something. After the raise, despite earning far more, his savings dropped to almost zero. Some months, he even dipped into credit cards. At the end of the year, Thomas looked at his bank account and realized something shocking. He was earning more than ever, but he wasn't any richer. In fact, he felt more trapped than before. This is lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens when your spending rises at the same pace as your income or faster. Instead of using extra income to build wealth, you use it to upgrade your lifestyle. And the math behind it is brutal. Let's break it down simply. If you earn an extra $30,000 a year, that's about $1,800 more per month after taxes, depending on your state. Now imagine you increase your rent by $600, your car payment by $500, insurance by $150, dining and subscriptions by $250, and miscellaneous upgrades by another $300. Just like that, the raise is gone. And here's the worst part. Those new expenses don't disappear when life gets hard. They become permanent. If Thomas loses his job or faces a medical emergency, his higher lifestyle becomes a bigger risk, not a reward. This is why so many high-income earners live paycheck to paycheck. A 2024 survey showed that nearly 50% of Americans earning over $100,000 still report living paycheck to paycheck. That sounds insane until you understand lifestyle inflation. Earning more money only helps if your spending grows slower than your income. If they rise together, you're running on a treadmill that never moves forward. In the next part of this video, we're going to break down the lifestyle inflation math even deeper. I'll show you why small upgrades are more dangerous than big splurges, how social pressure silently pushes spending up, and what Thomas could have done differently to actually become rich instead of just looking rich. Stay with me, because this part might completely change how you handle your next raise. Now let's talk about the math that really keeps people stuck, even when their income keeps rising. The biggest danger of lifestyle inflation isn't the big, obvious purchases. It's the small upgrades that quietly lock in higher monthly spending. A little more rent here, a nicer car there, a few extra subscriptions, better groceries, more delivery apps. None of them feel dramatic, but together, they quietly eat your future. Let's go back to Thomas. After his raise, Thomas told himself he deserved a better life. And to be fair, he did work hard. The problem wasn't that he enjoyed his money. The problem was that he upgraded fixed expenses first. Fixed expenses are things you can't easily undo. Rent, car payments, insurance, debt. Once you raise these, you're stuck with them month after month. If Thomas had lost his job at $62,000, he could survive for a while. At $92,000 with higher fixed expenses, losing his job would be a financial emergency almost immediately. This is why higher income can actually increase financial risk. According to recent consumer spending data, housing and transportation now make up over 50% of the average American household budget. When income rises, these categories are usually the first to expand. And once they expand, they're very hard to shrink. Another trap is social comparison. When Thomas got promoted, his coworkers changed. They drove nicer cars, lived in nicer neighborhoods, took better vacations. Without realizing it, Thomas started measuring success by what everyone else around him was doing. This is how lifestyle inflation spreads, not through greed, but through normalization. When everyone around you spends more, spending more feels normal. Saving feels strange. And here's the math most people never run. Let's say Thomas had done something different. Instead of upgrading everything, he decides to freeze his lifestyle for 2 years. Same apartment, same car, same basic spending. But now, he directs that extra $1,800 per month towards saving and investing. That's $21,600 per year. Invested at a modest 7% annual return, that money could grow to over $450,000 in 15 years. And that's without increasing the amount at all. Now compare that to Thomas's real situation. After 2 years of higher income and higher spending, he had nicer things, but no meaningful assets. No financial cushion. No freedom. Just bigger obligations. This is the lifestyle inflation math no one explains when you get a raise. Raises feel like freedom, but freedom doesn't come from income. It comes from the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The wider the gap, the richer you become. The narrower the gap, the more trapped you feel. This is why millionaires often live surprisingly normal lives, and why many high earners feel constantly stressed. Wealth is not about income. It's about control. So what could Thomas have done differently? First, he could have paid himself first. The moment his paycheck increased, he could have automated savings and investments before upgrading anything else. What's left is what you're allowed to spend. Second, he could have delayed lifestyle upgrades. Waiting 6 to 12 months before making big changes gives you clarity. Most of the excitement fades. The good decisions remain. Third, he could have upgraded variable expenses instead of fixed ones. Enjoy better food, travel, or experiences that don't permanently raise monthly obligations. And finally, he could have measured success differently, not by what he owned, but by how long he could survive without a paycheck. Because real wealth isn't flashy. Real wealth is sleeping well at night. It's not panicking when the economy slows. It's having choices. If you're watching this and you're expecting a raise or hoping for one, remember this. Earning more is an opportunity, not a guarantee. What you do next determines whether your future self thanks you or wonders where all the money went. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Wealth Talk for more simple, practical explanations of money, wealth, and financial freedom. And ask yourself this one question today. If your income went up tomorrow, would your life get richer or just more expensive? Before you go, here's one final thought to leave you with. Most people think the goal is to earn more, but the real goal is to need less. Every dollar you don't lock into a permanent expense is a dollar that gives you options. Options to walk away from a bad job. Options to handle emergencies without panic. Options to say no. If you've already experienced lifestyle inflation, don't feel bad. Almost everyone does. The good news is you can reverse it. Awareness is the first step, and intention is the second. Start small. Track where your last raise actually went. Look for fixed expenses you can slow down, pause, or renegotiate. And before your next raise or bonus arrives, decide in advance where that money will go. Because wealth isn't built in big moments. It's built in quiet decisions no one else sees. Thanks for watching Wealth Talk. If this video helped you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's chasing raises but not getting ahead. Your future self will thank you. It takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos. Your subscriptions, likes, and shares are what inspire us to create more content. Therefore, please consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. And finally, thank you for watching until the end. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, stay safe and stay blessed.